Good evening, everybody. We are back for round two in Alberta. It's 10 p.m. Storms are rolling to Calgary, so we're going to jump right into this one on the north side. So let's just take a quick look here and we'll get right at this. So I'm just going to show you what's happening. This is coming through Calgary right now. We did think that some of this might die off or weaken as it was coming through, but it has picked up. Winds are quite crazy from what I'm understanding here. Very strong on Highway 2 through Airdrie area, and you can see we have quite a bit of hail associated with this along Highway 2 currently. So just jumping right into it, these are where those bright winds are, and they are moving eastward at this point. So you can see how the storms came off the foothills and crossing through the Calgary area. Quite a bit of wind associated with it, and also quite a bit of hail. So very heavy precipitation. I'm just going to pause it. This is our latest scan at 9:59 p.m. and this is 7 minutes ago, so we should see our next scan going through the airport area. Lots of precipitation, and we see that continuing out the east side of Calgary here. So we jumped on here just to kind of follow up on this. It took a little bit to get the live stream back up and running, but we are basically looking at a bunch of hail to the east of Cross Iron, and we're probably talking grapes to loonies roughly in terms of hail size, but extremely heavy precipitation associated with strong winds in this as well. So this thing is packing definitely a decent punch. Precipitation is on the south side of Calgary going through Franklin. We're probably looking at grapes to loony sized hail around the Calgary Zoo, where Highway 2 and just south of Highway 1 through the Calgary area. So we can see that the heaviest of the precipitation stretches up to the north. Let me just highlight where we're talking about here. And we're talking up in here, but our hail is essentially in a pocket right around here and going out the east side of Calgary at this point. And then we have a bit of hail through the south side here, just a small pocket by Mayland, Meridian, Forest Heights, Southview area. Just got hail in that storm system as well. So what else? I'm seeing some comments. Yes, it's definitely midnight where I'm at. A little tired, but we're going to keep the show going here. Just with something this kind of intense, I wanted to jump on here as quick as I could. And we are again seeing hail tucked into our storm here around the Airdrie area and to the south. And then that is going to come through Chestermere, the east side along the Trans-Canada Highway and north of there. So Conrich area as well, and heading eastward from there, we're going to have some more hail continuing within this storm. Just wanted to show you guys what else is happening. Back up to the north by Red Deer. I'm going to take a look. We do have some storms, but these are non-severe to the north. These are just very heavy rainmakers, and they are weakening as they come off the foothills, which is kind of what we expected. However, in the Calgary area, that hasn't happened. They do have the Cedar Plains out as well. I've heard that, showing that they're trying to get the hail down on this storm. It is breaking up a little bit here, and again, we're probably talking loony-sized or smaller. If you do have any information, you can send it to us. I'm just going to show you guys, we have a new media tool for getting any kind of photos or videos. I'll put it in the chat here so you guys can see that. So if you do want to upload any photos or videos, I can try and share them on the live stream here. That is the best way to do it. Once you upload it, I can then put it up on the stream if we have time. Obviously, trying to do as much possible. I believe I have one moderator in here, so we'll bounce things around as best as we can. So definitely hearing some damage in the Airdrie area from some of these winds. And again, if I flip over, we can see where the hail is located located. We also have those bright blue areas, bright green turning to blue, I should say, and that would be an area of strong straight line winds. These are probably in the 70-kilometer-an-hour range on the surface, maybe even a little bit more, so packing a little bit of a punch, unfortunately, late this Saturday evening. So we are 10:05 p.m. Let me make one more adjustment here. And we should see our next scan here in about 3 minutes. But basically, this is what has transpired as it's coming through Airdrie. It is moving fairly quickly here, so it looks to move off to the east fairly fast. I couldn't get to it quick enough just to get it before it came into Calgary, and I apologize for that. But it's just takes a bit of time to get the live stream up as things go. So. Alex saying ton of rain as the storm moves in, limited visibility on the roads as the leading edge of the storm. So thank you very much for that, Alex. Really appreciate it. Getting the heads up there. Up in Edmonton, you guys are okay. I don't think there's actually anything happening around the Edmonton area. There's no storms right now around Edmonton. Calgary is taking their turn at severe weather. They haven't had any in quite some time, so it's their turn at this point. What else? Strong winds in Mahogany, getting that from David right now. Thank you very much for that update. What else have we got here? Another comment near Chestermere, very windy, heavy rain coming from a comment here. So basically, it's essentially a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and some hail embedded in this. So we are watching that unfold right now. And again, 10:05 p.m. Alberta time. And Chris is in there as well, one of my moderators. So again, a few moderators in here that are helping out. So that's awesome. Okay. Cross Iron Mall. I guess somebody's out at Cross Iron Mall. I hope they're okay as well. But again, if you're indoors, the shelter side of things, you should be okay. It is just moving towards Strathmore radar. So we are going to start seeing where the storm will look a little different. We do have some strong winds to the east of Highway 2. And again, this is moving fairly quickly. North of Highway 1 through Conrich, 791, between 201 and 791. We have a bunch of hail in here. This is going to be loony sized or smaller. And then as you move a little further north, there is still very heavy rain with all this dark red. That is torrential rainfall associated with this hail. So you can see how much red is involved in this storm all the way to the north. And that stretches basically just to the east of Crossfield on Highway 2. Just, I guess, Carstairs would be the northern edge of where all this heavy rain is, so it kind of cuts off right about here. If I zoom that back out, you can see where that heavy rain is tucked in back to the south of that and moving eastward through Calgary, and it's on the east side of Calgary at this point. So just blowing through the city pretty quickly. And it will continue to move on. We have some storms popping around Strathmore at this point as well. So we're going to see what happens. You can see those have popped or initiated in the last couple of scans. And the line is going to meet up with that. So we'll have to see what happens when those get together. So quite the light show from my understanding as well, with a bunch of lightning on this storm as it moves through. So again, the west side of Calgary is mostly out of it at this point. It is now on the east side of Calgary, east of the 201, and that's where our heavy rain, very heavy rain, like torrential rainfall, whenever you're seeing these dark reds, that is just like somebody opening up a tap. And then obviously embedded in that, small hail, maybe loony sized or smaller hail. hail. There are a few brighter pink areas, so we could see slightly larger than that. However, it would be in a very small area if that's the case. So continuing with a bunch of winds as well through this storm as this moves eastward. So that's what's unfolding right now. I'll switch over to our winds and show you guys that where there are bigger pockets of those stronger winds. So west of Irricana, you've got some 80 plus 87, 86 kilometers an hour just off the surface. So very windy as this is moving eastward. So 70 to 80 kilometers on the surface roughly, where you're seeing these brighter green areas. Those are your hot spots for winds. Again, this is east of Cross Iron and they're showing almost 80 kilometers an hour in there. So very gusty, very windy, heavy rain, and this is the biggest component here. There's nothing else severe warned. Just zooming back out here to show you guys, our only severe warning right now on storms in Alberta is this big line that is moving through the Calgary area. Maritime weather, good to see you, Adam. You are definitely up late because it's well past midnight for you. Definitely just keeping at it here and trying to keep things going. A few storms out your way today out in the Maritimes as well. Canada proud, yeah, thanks for keeping us all informed. Absolutely, that's what we're here for, as much as humanly possible. Doesn't always work out timing wise. Again, today I should have been on a little bit earlier, but it took a little while to get the stream back up and running. So just getting a bit of overland flooding happening in the Airdrie area from this, and I'm not surprised with the torrential rain that we are seeing out of this storm. So there may be short-lived flooding as involved with this, obviously with also some hail in it, so that does clog things up a little bit, but the hail does look to be breaking up a fair bit, so you can see that as it came through. This would have been just east of Cochrane. It actually originated, I believe, right in the Cochrane area, just kind of north of there. You can see that on the 1A, and then it just paralleled and went eastward and expanded out from there, crossed over Highway 2, and now it's going further east at this point with torrential rain with this as well. So just keeping an eye on stuff there. And going to take a look on social media as well, just to see if there's anything anybody's posting that's going to give me any kind of heads up. Definitely getting some rain out by Strathmore, and that's basically these little isolated storms along Highway 1 that have initiated out front of this, so we will keep an eye on that. Just to make sure. Lots of lightning, it looks like, in Calgary as this went through. I guess the airport reported 91 kilometers an hour as this went through there. So at YYC definitely got windy there for a little bit. We should have a new scan here within about a minute. And we'll keep an eye on that once it does pop up here. But lots and lots of precipitation with this storm. So is this our latest scan? I'll jump on that quickly and then I'll jump back into questions. So again, lots of precipitation from Highway 1, Chestermere area, looking straight north from there up along 791. We do have some minor hail in here, again, probably loony sized or smaller. That is continuing to move eastward. This stretches up to the east of Airdrie. Still heavy rain in the Airdrie area. Excuse me. And then kind of northeast of Airdrie is where the rest of the rain has found itself. So that's where we've got right now. Let's take a look at our winds. Getting windy up there by Irricana area. We were pointing that out. Let me highlight this. Seeing some 87 kilometers an hour, roughly. That's the most that we're seeing right now. So 60 to 75 kilometers an hour on the surface, roughly at this point. That is just west of Highway 9, again by Irricana area. And they are updating the warning, and they have pushed the warning further east. It is now through Strathmore along Highway 1 and to the south by Carsland, but I don't believe you're going to be impacted by the storm itself. You might get some winds coming from there, but right now the storm itself doesn't look like it's going to make it down there at this time. So let me go here, and we had some... Sundry storm, that's going to be up here. This is just minor storms. Everything else to kind of the line that has formed from Sylvan Lake down to back past Sundry. Where does this head down to? There's well, I guess we'll use Sundry as our cutoff, but that is just thunderstorms. They are non-severe at this point. Again, nothing in Alberta at this point is severe warned other than the line going through Calgary, and that is on the east side of Calgary at this point, or Airdrie as well, just crossing that Highway 2 area. So just showing you guys that this is the only severe warned storm at this point, and continuing to move eastward from there. So... Okay, apparently polygons. So anybody who's not aware, they are launching storm-based polygon warnings for severe weather in Canada on August 11th. That is the timeline that we're working with. So that will narrow it down from these giant boxes that we have for severe warnings. You can see how big this big yellow polygon is. That is the warning that comes from Environment Canada. They are going to go with storm-based ones where it will highlight the area that they're concerned about, so it minimizes where you have to concentrate on or worry about. So we'll see if that happens or not. What else here? Getting a question from Brenda Marie. Any concerns with hail in Stettler? Let me just... You guys are way to the north. Right now, doesn't look like there's any hail that is going to come into Stettler area. All of it is to the south, and it is starting to weaken off the storm. It was definitely more significant when it was between Cochrane and Airdrie. So Stettler being all the way to the northeast, I don't suspect that you're going to have any hail up in that area. At this time, based on these scans and what's coming off the hills, it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So Todd, good to see you in the chat as always. Also Andy, good to see you in the chat from Eastern Ontario, or I should say from Ontario, not from Eastern Ontario. What else have we got here? These storms are hitting because my parents came back from holidays. So we know who we can blame at this point: Chris's parents. What else? Drumheller getting hit next. I don't think Drumheller is just going to be on. I mean, let me just see how this is playing out. I think it's going to miss Drumheller to the south, possibly. It's kind of dropping southeast a little bit, so I don't think it's going to get into the Drumheller area right now, which is the line that we're talking about that is east of the Highway 2. If there are additional storms, there may be something that happens. Right now, there's just minor showers in the Drumheller area, nothing to be concerned about at all. So, getting a question about Vegreville up by Edmonton. There are no real storms up in Edmonton at this point. Again, there's nothing even remotely close to the Edmonton area as far as storms. Everything is to the south, so nothing to worry about up there. So let me switch back down to Calgary here and see if I can answer any more questions. Wait. Well, this Calgary storm. Auburn Bay. I don't know where that is, so give me 1 second. There it was. You are to the south. You may get a little bit of precipitation in here, some wind as well. You're very close to that area, so well, this is our latest scan, so let me just take a look here. 10:23, that just came in. So obviously you have a bit of showers, nothing too severe. The hail won't make it down there. Our heaviest precipitation is on the east side of Calgary, again, east of Chestermere, just north of Highway 1, and you can continue up 791 basically to see where that very heavy torrential rain, those dark reds and the reds, those are very heavy precip. And then you get into those darker orange, that still continues to be heavy rain, and it is moving eastward at this point. So you can see where this is headed right now. The hail has come off of it as it's come out of the foothills, so that is good, and we're just dealing with a very heavy rain at this point within it. There may be tiny hail in it, but right now all of the hail markers have come out of it, and we have very little left as far as indicating on these hail scans. You've got a few pink pixels in here, so there may be small pea size, maybe up to grape sized hail, the maximum, but the biggest thing we're dealing with is precipitation and some stronger winds here by Irricana area. It is getting closer to the radar, so it does it is a little bit misleading when you come close to the radar, but we are seeing some 99, 100-kilometer-hour winds tucked into this area just above the surface, so very windy along Highway 9. Again, just by Irricana area, east of Airdrie is what we're looking at. So there's definitely some good straight line winds in that. Okay. Just getting a comment from Sam saying, Sam Squanch, love the username, Chestermere here, heavy rain and wind. So yeah, definitely coming even more as far as just you're on the back end of it now, so you've moved through most of the precipitation in the Chestermere area. There is still a little bit back to the west. The winds don't look too bad down there compared to, again, east of Airdrie. The winds are definitely going to be strong up in that way. So yeah, so we're looking pretty good. Really appreciate the kind words, Benjamin. I really appreciate that a lot. It does make these longer days and nights worth it. When we get a silver play button, I will freak out if we end up at that point. Definitely not something that I thought would be even remotely possible, but considering we've got 23,000, I think, followers on YouTube in a year, it's definitely something that could be possible down the road. We'll see when we cross that bridge, but right now, appreciate you being here and joining in on the chat, and we'll keep an eye on things. But again, right now, mostly what we're dealing with here are some straight line winds, nothing crazy as far as rotation is concerned. This is a straight line wind event, just the shape of the storm, the way it's moving. This is outflowy. It's got a shelf on the front of it, so all of that indicates winds blowing out in front of the storm. And in fact, let me just double check here. You can see this is our reflectivity. This shows you how much precipitation is happening. So you can actually see in this scan where those strong winds are, and they're out front here. I can highlight them roughly. Oh God, let me delete that. Give me a sec here. Has a fun little glitch. You can see these winds on reflectivity, this boundary that you have here. And if I flip over to our velocities, that's where you're seeing those winds pushing out from the storm. So again, it's very obvious that this is an outflow dominant storm and not likely to see anything with rotation for the area or for anybody involved in this. It is just to do with straight line winds, heavy precipitation and some hail still continuing on the storm. That is the biggest thing that we're dealing with right now. So we're about 2 minutes away from our next scan. And again, the rest of all this precipitation to the north is basically just non-severe thunderstorms or rain showers at this point. So a lot less to worry about than what's going on here east of Highway 2, north of Highway 1. That's essentially where the intensity is located. So that would be this general area with these bright red colors. That is the heaviest of rain, and that's where it's windiest as well. So that is the area that is moving eastward. It's got a bit of a southern dip on it, so it is dropping a little bit south, but mostly eastward at this point, so we can keep that going. What else? Murphy, no problem. Happy to be here as well. I'm glad people are tuning in. I really appreciate the kind words and the support. So, yeah, I love breaking down the scans just to be able to tell people what they need to look out for. The reason I do that, I know some people find it a little too, involved possibly, but at least you can look at radar when you're not, let's say you're somewhere where we're not covering or you're on vacation. You can look at radar and understand whether you have to be concerned about it. Connor's fiance actually was out camping, couldn't get a hold of Connor, looked at radar and then went, oh yeah, I remember, I don't need to worry about this, it's just going to be XYZ. So that's the idea, is that you can go almost anywhere and you see radar and you can sort of understand what's going on, whether you need to worry about it or not, rather than relying on somebody else necessarily to either give it to you accurately or hype stuff up. You never know what the situation is. So okay, Lee asking if anything in Vulcan. Right now I don't think there's anything going on in Vulcan, but let me pull it up. And yeah, you are way to the south. As far as these storms are concerned, this is all moving east, southeast. You can see it is dipping a little bit southeast, but it is starting to weaken as it came off those foothills. West of Calgary is where it was a little more intense and then kind of breaking up. They also have the cedar plains on there spraying the silver iodide to keep the hail down. At least that's the theory. So it we'll definitely see if that's the case as this continues to move eastward here. This is our latest scan, 1029. Let me just take a look at our winds in here. You can see those bright colors by Irricana. That is the stronger wind area, so very windy. Within this pocket, we're seeing some 90 kilometers, almost 100, seeing in some of these spots here. So I just saw 101 actually somewhere in here. There it is, 101. So definitely getting windy in this area, and it is moving eastward. So this is the pocket of those strong straight line winds, meaning they're not rotating. These are straight line winds, but 100 kilometers an hour, that can definitely do damage as well. So you've still got to pay attention to it. And you can see how that is compressing and coming out this way to the southeast. So that will go over the radar. So it's going to look a little funky because our Strathmore radar is sitting right here. So traditionally radars are blind right above them. Their beams go outwards, not straight up. So they don't see what's above them, and then they kind of, so storms do look weird, velocities do look a little weird as they're going over those radars. So right now our heavy precipitation is west of Strathmore, so between Chestermere and Strathmore, right about in the middle there. What highway is this? Do I have a number on here? I don't. Okay, so I can't give you a number there, but it's east of Highway 9 at this point along the Trans-Canada. That's where that heavy precip is going out. Langdon area just to the north of there. If you go shoot straight north, you've got a ton of precipitation again with this dark red. That is torrential rainfall. Right now it looks like most of the hail has come out of the storm. Might be a little bit here just in southeast of Dalroy, Lialta, somewhere in that area just to the west. There's probably loony sized or smaller hail in that as this continues eastward. eastward. That's the only area that I would highlight for hail on all of this. And again, moving eastward at this point. So we'll continue to monitor it, and luckily it looks like some of it is weakening a little bit, so that could show that things are going to downtrend here on the scans moving forward. Let me jump back into the comments here. I like snowstorms better. Yeah, I can understand that. A lot of people don't like these summer severe storms. So, what else? Yeah, nothing but a little bit of rain in Red Deer, Alberta. So, that's obviously further to the north. And just minor showers coming through that area. There might be a little bit more coming your way, but it should be very mild compared to what's down here to the south. You might have a small pocket of heavy rain, but nothing compared to what's down here south in the east of Calgary area. So that's what's unfolding right now. Only severe warned storm area is here around Calgary. Okay, getting a comment or question here. I don't do 7-day long-term forecasts, unfortunately, on the live stream. We do some outlooks, but 7 days, anything 7 days and out is what I call wish casting. It will change 3 or 4 different times before the day actually gets here. Very rarely do you get an accurate 7-day forecast as far as that's concerned, but we're more about live streaming during the severe weather events. But if you do go on our Facebook page, we do put outlooks up and that kind of stuff. Owen, I don't think. Oh yeah, you're. Storms are far off from there. I think by the time they would get to you, they would be non-severe if they even made it that far. This is dropping southeast, so it probably would just be regular showers as far as getting out that far. So that would be my take on it anyways at this point. I don't think I'm going to be awake at that point. I'm in Eastern Ontario, and it's already almost 1 a.m. here. I will not be staying up that late. If it continues to be severe, we'll think about it, but at this point I don't suspect this storm will stay severe for that long, and I'll just hang out here until that kind of dissipates off, just so that we keep the word out in front of our line of storms here. This is our latest scan. Let's take a look at our winds. You can still see that bright area here. It's getting close to the radar, so again, a little bit misleading, showing it a little stronger than it is just at the angle that the beams are going through the storm, but we're talking 70, 80, maybe even 90 kilometers an hour inside this very bright area that you see. That's the pocket of winds in there, and then we still have very heavy precipitation moving through to the east as this continues moving along the Trans-Canada Highway and north of there. So you can see what's unfolding. This is about an hour and 20 minutes of radar that you've seen. So this has come from west of Calgary, west of Cochrane, and is almost all the way to Strathmore in about an hour and a half. So this is moving at a very solid pace. I'm going to see if Environment Canada has put any of that information in there. They don't have anything as far as the speed. They're talking about up to quarter size hail being the maximum value in there. Just going to see if there's anything else in this other warning. No, nothing in there. Sometimes they will put the speed that this is traveling at. I would hazard a guess that this is doing 60 to 70 kilometers an hour right now, maybe a little bit more, but it is moving very quickly for storms compared to what was happening around the Edmonton area earlier when we were live streaming. Those storms were crawling in comparison. So Alex just saying heavy precip up by Sylvan Lake area, so I appreciate that update. And getting Aaron saying that it's getting nice and bright in Red Deer, but I do believe you are going to have some more storms coming from the northwest. So V-Baller Lefty asking if we're going to pull an all-nighter. We were talking up that we've done 2 a.m., so we're not far off of that. I definitely hope for the people in front of this storm that it weakens, and for my bed calling my name down the hall, I hope we don't pull an all-nighter. So, okay. Yeah, Tim saying you had me worried for a minute by the map. We finally got 3 days of sunshine in Edmonton after being drowned out for the last 2 months, and I've been there for every one of them live streaming. But again, this is all to the south of Edmonton, and there's nothing really happening up in the Edmonton area. You can see the storms have essentially died out. You might have some very minor showers that will move in overnight, but we're talking extremely minor based on that. And then just everything is down here to the south. So anybody who's new to the channel, if you're looking at this precipitation screen here, your orange, so your light orange, yellow, green, and blue is on the light end of the scale. So what you see, the vast majority in the center of this is light showers to very light showers. Only where you've got those darker oranges and reds and then dark reds, that's where you've got the very heavy precipitation. That's why we're looking at this being severe warned by the Calgary, east of Calgary area, going through Strathmore by La Alta. And then, like I said, Red Deer might get a little bit of heavy rain coming through. This is just to the north of there through basically between Lynn Valley and Lacombe. There is some hail possibly in this as well. Just going to see here. So there might be a small amount of hail crossing Highway 2 just to the north of Lynn Valley. This would be pea-sized to maybe grapes out of that at most. So again, you can expect a little bit more rain probably in the Red Deer, Alberta area, but not anything very significant for any kind of period of time. So asking if there's any storm warnings for Slave Lake area. There is absolutely nothing going on anywhere else that's severe warned other than this stuff east of Calgary, east of Airdrie, just along Highway 9 here. There is absolutely nothing else severe warned. I'm zooming all the way out so you can see that the only thick yellow line, which is a warning, the other thin yellow line boxes are watches. Watches always come out before the warnings. The watch is your heads up, hey, something might happen later today. Warning is it's going on right now. So that's basically how the system works. So only one severe warning at this point as well. So Rick is in here as well from Eastern Ontario. Rick, you need to go to bed. I know it's a Saturday night, but holy cow. The Eastern Canada group is in here. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, Calgary has been bone dry. They need the precipitation. Hopefully the storm isn't too heavy hitting. It did pack a punch as it came through Calgary. Yes, Calgary has definitely been missing the precipitation this summer. I was commenting on it earlier in the live stream that up in Edmonton, they have been getting all the storms and Calgary got nothing, which normally it's the reverse. Calgary's always getting the storms and Edmonton isn't getting them. So this summer has definitely been a role reversal between Calgary and Edmonton. Okay, let me jump back in here. No problem. That's what we're here for. Let's go. I definitely will. I'll be honest. I was kind of on the fence. I'm like, is it going to be bad enough? Is it not? And then I saw it and I'm like, okay, I need to jump on and just kind of give coverage while it goes through a fairly populated area. And now again, it is dying off. So we are seeing a weakening. We'll just have to see as it moves over the radar once it gets to the other side, what it looks like. So, okay. Yeah, Tim, that's what I've been hearing. A lot of farmers getting impacted by these heavy rains. Same thing in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. They had early on in the summer lots and lots of rain to the point where I thought they were farming rice paddies because there was so much water in the fields. So unfortunately, yes, there is a fallout. It's not a lot of fun, and it sucks when the weather destroys the fields, unfortunately. Just got a question whether ever done storm chasing in Western Canada or just Ontario, and I have actually chased all across North America. Most of my storm chasing is in Tornado Alley in the US, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, the Dakotas, Colorado, Arkansas. I've chased all over the place, and I have done Western Canada. I've gone all the way to Vancouver, and I've been all the way out to the East Coast. So I've covered entire Canada as far as storm chasing is concerned. And now I'm in front of a computer. That's my new home as far as storm chasing goes. So just got a message here, just got woken up by some big booms and getting quite a light show in Standard about 20 minutes east of Strathmore. So that'll be these storms down here that are initiating. Let me just move it, and they've just taken the severe warning and pushed it out that way. You can see these storms initiating out front of it just to the east of Strathmore. So definitely some lightning and thunder on it. The heaviest of rain is still back to the west right now. Our rain is kind of through Cheadle, just on the edge of Strathmore, and then stretching northward. Again, our radar is sitting right here, so it does look weird, but there's definitely still quite a bit of storm in that area going to be moving over top of the radar. It is all east of Highway 9, and then up when Highway 9 turns eastward. That is where the heaviest of rain is tucked in at this point. So again, where all those bright red areas over that large scale area, that is a ton of rain. And then we do have some more rain initiating here just north of Highway 1, and I want to say this is called 12 Mile Curve or Corner or something like that. It could be 13. I can't remember exactly. You guys will tell me in the chat, I'm sure, but just where the Trans-Canada turns south, and that is just to the north of there. We have a pocket of heavy precipitation. Let me just take a look at some wind readings. We're seeing strange readings here just over the radar again. Little windy right north of, this is by Nightingale. Definitely a pocket of heavier straight line winds in that area along 564. And then just kind of Mountain View Hutterite Colony, just close to the radar. You're seeing those brighter greens have turned into blues. That's definitely a strong pocket of wind as well that is moving eastward. So that's another area to keep an eye on in regards to that. So that's the only thing really happening. The rest of all of this, for the most part, is light to moderate rain at most. And then the odd little pocket of heavy rain north of Red Deer, just along Highway 2. We may even have a tiny bit amount of hail just north of Lynn Valley. And that is along the highway corridor, Highway 2 corridor. And then we have a little bit of heavier pockets of precipitation by White Sands, but these are very minor compared to, in size, obviously, compared to the rest of it down to the south. And that's what we're watching at this point. So they are still continuing to push the severe warning, this yellow box, all the way east out in front of all these storms and all of this precipitation. So we'll see what happens there. What else? Vin saying, yeah, you're under a watch out in the Brooks area till you're on the very edge of it for another 42 minutes, they say. This storm does look like it's going to carry on for at least a couple of hours before I think it completely dies out. The severe side of it, I think within the next half an hour to an hour, we should see it subside to where it's below severe threshold. And then it's just going to be a regular severe or so regular thunderstorm, one non-severe as well. So that's my kind of guesstimate as to what's going on this evening. So Dr. Dave saying we got close to 200 millimeters in one weekend in Edmonton, and yes, there have been some prolific rainfall events that have happened throughout Canada, throughout the live streaming that we've been doing. Edmonton has been one of the areas north of Winnipeg. There was 150 millimeters out of one storm. South of Montreal, the same thing happened. So one of the common threads I've seen through severe weather this summer across Canada has been prolific rainfall events. That has definitely been obvious, and I've covered a lot of them. Western portion of Manitoba was basically underwater. It definitely was a wet summer for a lot of areas. So here's our latest scan. Still got winds right around the Strathmore radar. It does look funky when you look at it this way. So again, northeast of Strathmore along Highway 21, we do have a pocket of some stronger winds. These are 100-kilometer-hour winds off the surface, so very windy and gusty as this is blowing out or gusting out. And you can see the winds are out in front of the precipitation. That's what's going on right now. So lots of precip tucked in. Just kind of, well, let's do this. Right in this area here, just with these bright colors, that's where your heaviest of precipitation is right now. And again, some pockets of strong winds embedded in that. That is the only area that we have that's of any concern in Alberta. Actually, even in Canada, I think I can make that statement. Yeah, there's nothing going on other than in Alberta. So very easy to tell you guys that there's nothing happening other than this area. What we have circled here in orange, that is the heavy precip, and that is the strong winds as well that you can see in here. So if you are anywhere in the path of this, it is moving southeast, mostly east, but a little bit of a south drift on it. You need to be prepared that this is headed your way. Right now, it is slowly starting to subside a little bit. Also, it is after dark and Alberta, and when we do get the sun going over the horizon, we lose diurnal heating, which is another way for storms to sustain or have energy. When they lose that, they tend to, like I said, weaken out after dark. So again, I don't expect this to shut off in the next half an hour, but probably within an hour this will be non-severe, I'm hoping, and then from there it will just kind of taper off through the evening. So and overnight, obviously. So getting a question about what would I call the tornado alley of Canada. I mean, the prairies are the obvious answer. Eastern portion of Alberta, eastern half of Alberta, Saskatchewan, and then into Manitoba. That's definitely gets a lot of tornadoes. Southern Ontario is starting to get a lot of tornadoes too as well. So that would be another area that I would kind of highlight, but definitely the prairies. My favorite province to chase is Saskatchewan, but that's just my personal preference. But I would say the prairies, kind of right in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, western half of Manitoba, and then the eastern part of Alberta. That's basically where I would cut it up. 13-mile bend. I knew I was somewhere in that area, so thank you very much for confirming that. Again, I see so many names, so many towns. I'm amazed I remember half of it, but I do remember that it was something like 12-mile or 13-mile corner or bend, obviously, but now I've learned. Hopefully it'll be just repetition. So okay, let me jump back into some comments here or questions. Yeah, Brooks is definitely okay right now. If anybody's asking about Brooks right now, you're still okay. You're still decent distance from it, and you're to the southeast. It is kind of sort of tracking that way. I think it will still pass to the north of Brooks, but you can have where these storms do start to stretch out or expand further southward. So we'll see if that's the case, but hopefully that's not what happens, and it just stays within its confines that it's in right now and continues to move kind of east southeast at this point. So just getting comments that it is thundering in Chestermere again. Very light rain compared to what was through there earlier. There are a few lightning bolts, but you are on the back end of this storm system. I shouldn't see anything as far as winds. I'm just double checking that. So you're in the light end of things in Chestermere as far as things go. Canadian King just talking about Red Deer. Yes, you do have, again, that little storm just to the north of you right now near Lynn Valley. That's where you're getting a little bit more lightning showing up and heavier precipitation, but overall Red Deer missing a fair bit of the precip at this point. And it is mostly to the north. It'd be going through the Glendale area of Red Deer. There'd be some precip in there, but for the most part, it's north on just to the east of Highway 2 where you're seeing those reds and oranges, but everything else, the yellow, again, that's just regular lazy rain showers at that point, possibly with a bit of lightning and wind in it. So Lethbridge been seen any precipitation for a month or so. I did spend some time in Lethbridge last September down there. And yes, it was dry. I remember it was fairly dry there as well. So yes, this summer definitely still staying dry, and the smoke is definitely part of that over the last month, maybe 3 weeks. I would say there's a lot of smoke in the southern portion of Alberta, which smoke does inhibit storms to a certain extent. It keeps them from getting too carried away. It's like a wet blanket almost. So. Scully asking if I've seen this much activity, tornado activity on the prairies in the past. This is definitely a high season. There's a lot of activity this year. I can't recall a specific year, but it's definitely a very active season for tornadoes and severe weather this year across Canada, actually, overall, but definitely one of the top tier years for severe weather. Lots of lightning. I'm hearing lots of lightning still in Calgary, and definitely thunder as well associated with that. So again, still some lightning bolts being thrown out there, but the heaviest of the precip and the kind of the meat of the storm is now east of Calgary at this point, and you can see it's kind of tucked in around Strathmore and to the north, right over the radar. Essentially, is where it's at this point. So. Did I was seeing something here. Bear with me for a sec. Something up here. Got a question. So just up here, I just got a question from, let me just see here, Judy asking, Judy LeBlanc, what about Black Falls? That is heavy precipitation coming through there, but it is not going to be long-lived. There might be a little bit of hail just to the southeast with these couple of pink pixels. That would be grapes or smaller, maybe pea-sized to grape-sized hail in there possibly. Obviously, dark red means very heavy torrential rain, but that's what we're dealing with right now, and it is moving eastward, a little bit southeast actually, so this will cut through. You're almost on the back end of it, and the rest of it is just, again, moderate to light rain, and nothing to be concerned about. What we're always looking out for are those dark reds, those pinks, and the dark oranges. That's where we're seeing those heavy precip. So between Red Deer right now, let me switch radars. So between Red Deer all the way down to where are we here? I'm going to butcher this, Basiker. That is where the heavy rain starts, and then there's a giant gap all the way up there of just basically light rain all the way up towards till you get to Red Deer. So again, the area that is seeing the most intensity and why it has the severe warning is right here east of Calgary at this point, through Strathmore and heading towards a 13-mile bend. See, I can learn. What else is going on here in the chat? Pouring rain in Shaughnessy right now. Getting that from Triple STV Triple N. Thank you for that update. Let me just take a look here. What else? I used to do that a lot as soon as lightning strikes, counting down to see what, whether they're how far the storm is in terms of counting down from the lightning to the thunder. I definitely do that a lot. No questions about that. Especially with weather, I constantly do that anytime I can. It's just a fun game to play. What else have we got here? Liv is back in the chat as well. Holy cow! You were on here all day basically when we were doing our Eastern Canada's coverage by Ontario and Quebec, and here you are covering, watching the Calgary stuff happening. So, a lot of people from the east side of the country tuning into the live stream. I appreciate you guys. What else is going on here? Getting asked about what about Saskatchewan? Right now, there is nothing severe expected for Saskatchewan. Even tomorrow, I don't think there's anything expected for the Saskatchewan area. This should stay. Again, this will slowly taper off as it moves eastward. We are about 2 minutes from our next scan, but you can see how intense that line was back to the west of Calgary when you've got that thin, narrow band of really dark rain, and now it's kind of spreading out. When that spreading out happens of the precipitation, it tends to weaken the precipitation. It also weakens the winds within the storm, so it's not as compact, and it kind of spreads out at that point. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. And again, we're seeing less red in here, more orange and more yellow, which when you get down to that orange, yellow, green, and blue, again, I know I'm repeating myself. It definitely means that you're on the lower end of the scale as well. So thank you for the donation. Hello, happy budgets. Really appreciate that. And I do appreciate the support very much. So, V-Baller Lefty, like I said before, we are troopers. Yes, you guys are. Like I said, I do this as part of what I'm doing. I can't believe that other people are here to watch what's going on with storms from the eastern portion of the country. But that's pretty cool and awesome. So, what else? Yeah, definitely. Edmonton missed all of the storms. There was nothing really that happened. I did call the stream earlier, and there were storms coming from the northwest near Whitecourt. That essentially broke up as it continued southward after about an hour or two, and the hail come out of it, and that storm basically just died off. So right now we are just dealing with our storm right around the Strathmore area and to the north. I want you to notice the rain out in front of these pockets that I'm just going to highlight here. These storms that initiated right around the Strathmore area, notice how red they were, a lot of orange in them, and as they expand out and move eastward, look what's happening. No more red, very little orange, and more yellow in them. So it is dying off as it's getting eastward. I'm really hoping that's the same thing that happens with our storm as it moves eastward. Still got a leading edge here that does have some decent precipitation. There are some strong winds in this. You can see that with these bright pink colors, and when they start getting to flesh tone, you're getting close to 100 kilometers an hour. So there's a couple of pockets here, and this is not far off the surface, so these are definitely strong winds in here north. Even across the Trans-Canada Highway, we're probably talking 80 to 85 kilometers an hour on the surface there, and just to the north of there we have a few areas with closing in 80 to 90 kilometers an hour, so that definitely meets your severe component and associated with very heavy rain in that as well. So that is what's unfolding here. Like I said, I think this was going to scoot to the south of Drumheller. I'm pretty much on point with that. The heaviest precip is further south of Highway 9 as Highway 9 moves east to west. The precip is to the south of that, and once this gets away from the radar, it will definitely look a little less intense. Over the radar, it definitely looks misleading and tends to look a little more intense than it actually is as things go for there. So okay, let me jump back in the chat. Got a question here. Tate's Productions asking a question. Let me just see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I went through this earlier. So just asking about warnings and alerts for Canada. So basically right now you'll see a triangle in the top right corner. If you're looking, this is on a PC, but in a tablet, I think it might be in a different spot. Click on your triangle to go to your settings. Once you go into settings, you need to toggle over to Canada. So when you toggle over to Canada, and then the enabled side, you need to turn this on and off, or sorry, you need to turn it on. It's probably off at this point. So I leave the US ones off because we cover Canada. I flip over to the Canadian tab and then enable it, and then you'll have all your warnings for Canada. And then you can have, I don't know if the free version has the outlooks on it. This is from Environment Canada. We can look at what Environment Canada is thinking for outlooks over the next few days, that kind of thing. So hopefully that helps you out. Let me just, and I missed over a couple of questions, I think, while I was jumping around. Tate's Production, glad that helped you out. It's a great app. Weatherwise is definitely a great app to use. It takes a little bit of time to get used to, but once you get it set up and you're familiar with it and you've got it configured the way you want, it's a phenomenal app for weather. Just a little bit of a storm. I just saw a comment here from somebody. Where did I see that? From David, just saying, like, looks like a new cell in south central Calgary, right along Highway 2 here. A little bit of heavier precipitation in there. It coming off the foothills, we'll see whether that sustains, but yes, there is definitely some heavy precip here on the south side through Douglas, Douglasdale, Douglas Glen, Walden area, Fish Creek Provincial Park. There's definitely some heavy precip in that area as well. So, and let's just take a look. So that's the only thing I can highlight or see that's really any difference. I'll just play the cycle here, and you can watch what's unfolding with all of these storms over the last hour and a half. Again, our radar, I mean, I can go back hours, but we kind of loop only about an hour and a half, just so you can see the relevance. So as you can see, after dark, the rain tends to spread out, and you can see north around Three Hills, Didsbury area, Highway 2, all of that yellow that's up there. When I stop the cycle here on the latest scan, that is just, again, mild, light rain. Moderate would be getting into the oranges, so you can see that that is just regular showers. There's nothing to even be worried about. We're still just dealing with our straight line winds here east of Chestermere, east of Calgary area. Do have some strong straight line winds with heavy precipitation embedded in that. So, oh, cool. So Wheel's just saying the free version does have the outlooks, so I use them all the time. It's so informative, and yes, it makes it very handy that we can look at a lot of things on this platform. I don't need to switch over to anything else. We look at other things, but for the most part, I can do a vast majority of what I'm trying to accomplish right on this app. We've got satellite imagery, models. Yeah, we have tons of models that we can look at here. So this is my go-to for sure as far as weather is related at this point. Still a few places I look at, but 80% I would say is being done on this app at this point. So how can you go hours back? So if you I can show you that here while we're waiting for our next scan. If you click on this bar at the bottom that expands out your reflectivity, and you can choose your different modes. If you scroll back down at the very bottom here, playback maximum number of scans. If you drop it to 200, that's 200 times 6 minutes. So that will take you back 1,200 minutes, right? So that's basically 20 hours that it'll go back. So I generally keep it somewhere around the 15 scan mark for the live stream. Sometimes I'll have 30, so I have 3 hours if it's a long sustained event where it continues, but that's basically how you can go back all the way 20 hours on the number of scans. So Tate's Productions, I'm happy I could help you out. That makes me, that definitely makes my evening, and glad we figured it out for you or helped you figure it out. So 11:05 p.m. We just got this next scan. Let's take a look at our winds in here. Definitely strong winds moving east of Strathmore. You can see that just near 13 Mile Bend, definitely getting windy in here. So those bright wind colors, bright pinks, that is definitely some strong wind, heavy precipitation in that. And you can see that the precip is breaking up back to the west behind this. So we are starting to see this come a little bit disconnected as far as the precip is concerned. So okay, let me take a look. Melody just updating me. There is a little bit of hail here northeast of Red Deer. We do have a little pocket here just south of 597. Thank you very much for letting me know that, Melody. It's always good to have eyes in the back of your head, so I really appreciate my moderators who help me out through these live streams. We are looking at probably loony-sized or smaller hail, but also very heavy precipitation, and this is moving southeast at this point. You can see that how it has come across Trans-Canada Highway, and then as it's approaching Highway 11, we do have a little bit of hail in there. If that does sustain, they'll probably put a severe warning on it, but we'll have to see over the next couple of scans whether that's the case at this point. So the precipitation out front of our main core of precip right around the Strathmore or east of there, 13 Mile Bend, that precip has subsided quite a bit, and we're down to very light colors. So we're down to just basically orange, yellow, greens, and blues. So out front, the precip isn't heavy. There's a little bit of lightning on it, and then we're just dealing with our strong winds as far as being straight line wind event, and the heavy precip that's tucked in where these red colors are. But it is breaking up compared to what it looked like if we went back here west of Calgary. You can see how concentrated the red is down into a narrow area all the way up to Carstairs. That was an hour and a half ago roughly, and what it looks like now. So you can see a huge difference in that. Everything is spreading out. The biggest threat we're dealing with right now is straight line winds with some heavy precipitation at this point. So okay, caught up on that, caught up on the questions. Okay. I'm just checking what time, 11:11. So we're about 6 minutes into our scan here. We need another 2 minutes before the next one comes out. I'm just going to check something here. Okay. So yeah, right now we are definitely looking better than we were before. We are still getting some severe impacts on this, obviously with the straight line winds and heavy precip, but a lot of it is breaking up, which is what I expected for this to happen. So we'll see what continues here. We should see another scan here in about 1 minute or less. Winds and rain picked up here in Standard, was bone dry, and now the lightning show and rain has started again. Must be in that other end of the storm from Strathmore. So this just pushed out. So here is our latest scan just coming in, and what I want to highlight is the leading edge. You're going to see reds, yellows, oranges, and it's kind of breaking up. It's no longer a solid color. You're starting to see that infiltration of different lighter colors for precip, which shows up that that is a storm that is weakening in terms of the precipitation. Still got these winds in here though, so that is something that we have to pay attention to. Our strongest pocket of those heavier or stronger winds, I should say, would be right here, and then we have a little pocket right up in this area to the north. So east of Strathmore along the Trans-Canada Highway, there are some strong winds in that. We are talking, again, 80 kilometers an hour, up to maybe 90 just off the surface. So again, very windy throughout this as it's moving through, just in this bright pink area. That is definitely an area of strong winds, and there is heavy rain in that with these dark reds, but a lot more yellow is making its way into it, a lot more lighter orange as well. So I'm starting to see light at the end of the tunnel for people in front of this. Just because the precip breaks up doesn't mean those winds are going to subside. We're going to have to watch those to see how they kind of propagate southeastward, but generally when you start seeing the precip break up, the winds slowly break up behind that. So hopefully that's what's going to be the case here, and we'll see whether that unfolds. Scully asking if I have any storm chasers out in that area. Not this evening. Braden Morriso, he allows us to share his stuff. I haven't seen a post from Braden in a while here, but let me double check. Just double check here to see. I don't think Braden's on this at this time, but I can take a look. Yeah, the last thing he posted was from 2 hours ago around the Cochrane area. As the storms were coming off the foothills, he did post a video up there. So I can actually share that just to show you what this looked like 2 hours ago while we're waiting for our next scan. And I'll bring that up. This was just, I'm sure most of you recognize where this is, but this looks like just outside of Cochrane area. And you can pan over and you can see how that had a shelf, basically an outflow look to it, lots of lightning, so quite the light show on this. And if you guys don't know Braden, I'm sure most of you do. If this will load. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. You guys know the green Jeep around the Calgary area. Braden's been chasing a very long time. He's a really good friend of ours, and he allows us to share his media there. So always appreciate that. But you can find him on X under Braden Morriso and on Facebook as well. He does both of those, but he posted 2 hours ago, so I don't think he's anywhere on this at this time. He is just probably taking it easy at this point, not chasing, but we'll, if he posts something, I'll keep an eye on it and definitely try and share it with you guys if that's the case. So. Hello, happy budgets. Give me a sec here. You can actually, if you scan the QR code at the top, that'll bring you to our link tree. That QR code, I can actually switch over right there. So that if you scan that, that'll take you to our link tree. The first link is the one where you can submit stuff to our media tool that whether it's a photo or a video. I'll also put it in the chat for you. I'll put the link in there. And that one should get you to it. The one I just put in the chat should get you to be able to upload any kind of photo or video from there. So let me know if you have any problems, and we'll try and show that on the live stream here as well. So 11:11 is our last update. Again, this is all along the Trans-Canada, east of Strathmore, east of Calgary, and we're seeing that precipitation is starting to break up. So the heavy precip is definitely being chewed apart, and we are definitely getting that breaking apart somewhat. So we should see a new scan here in about 2 minutes or so. And then the rest of it up again by Stettler, Sylvan Lake, Red Deer area. We still do have a little bit of hail still embedded in this. They haven't severe warned this yet. And when I say they, Environment Canada has not severe warned this. This is going to be grapes to maybe a little bit larger to loony possibly, but I would stay around the grape size. And it's continuing to move southeast. Then we have a ton of rain between there and back down to the south here by Strathmore and east of there. So definitely a bunch of rain still embedded in the storm, but it is coming down and it is losing some intensity. Let's take a look at some of the precip here. On the southwest corner of the storm, basically south of Calgary. Moderate to moderate heavy rain in that. I'm just going to take a look at winds. Nothing too concerning as far as winds go on it in comparison to what's out east, but definitely still raining in that area, but is very small and narrow at that point. So I'm just getting this video here from, let me just take a look. I like the title. So just hello, Happy Budgets just sent this video in, says the title's Just a Sprinkle. I'm going to bring it up and show you how much of a just of a sprinkle it is. So this is the video here. Oops. Definitely pouring rain. And I believe, where was that? Standard, Alberta, which is obviously east of Strathmore by 20 kilometers. I remember that statement. So you can see just very heavy precipitation, or as we like to say in that title of the video, just a sprinkle. So thank you for submitting that. And I'm glad it works, because this is a new tool that we developed over the last week while we had some time off. So it allows us to ingest media a little bit easier through the platform, and it's also in the chat. The Nightbot every once in a while will throw it in there, just giving you guys the link for that, and it will be on our new website once we're done completing that, where you'll be able to just go to our website and use that same tool. So that is also coming as well. See here. Okay, we've got that. Answered those questions. Just getting a question whether, I'm assuming you're asking me whether I'm in Calgary. No, I am in Eastern Ontario. I'm just south of Ottawa, actually. So we are 2 hours ahead of you. It is now 1:20 in the morning here in Ontario area. Again, still amazed that there's a bunch of people from Eastern Canada on the live stream. We do have some people who are very loyal followers and watchers of the live stream. So I really appreciate them being in here. So this is our latest scan. Let's take a look here. Still got some strong winds here. This is going to be right by Chancellor, and these are going to be 70, 80 kilometer hour winds, maybe even a little bit more in those bright pink areas. Our cluster to the north is breaking up a little by Redland. Still windy, still very gusty, but it is losing a little bit of that punch as far as those straight line winds are concerned. And it's very obvious where our heavy precipitation is right now. You can see basically right through this area in here and down to the south by Arrowwood. We have this essentially this big line of precip moving eastward at this point. It does have some winds embedded in it, so that is I guess the bigger concern is just those winds, obviously associated with a ton of lightning as well. That is the area of concern at this point moving eastward. South side of Calgary by Rangeview, Ricardo Ranch, just on the Highway 2 split. What highway is this one? 2A and 2. That makes a lot of sense. Anyways, 2A and 2, there's a bit of heavy rain just to the south of that. Not a lot for winds, so the winds are not a problem, but we do have a small pocket of rain. There is a little bit of lightning involved with that, but it is small in comparison to what we're seeing here just east. This will be coming into, what have we got out here? Cluny. They just pushed the severe warning all the way further east right now. So this will be coming into Cluny very shortly. I'm just looking for what else is up here. Through Chancellor, I did mention that earlier. And It is going to stick south of Highway 9, south of Drumheller is where that heavier precip is going to be. And it's going to, again, continue to move east-southeast at this point. So, again, it is just drifting a little bit southeast. This will eventually come into the Brooks area by the looks of it. How intense it's going to be will be the question mark there. So. Hello, Happy Budgets. It's an awesome tool. Great job. Thank you. I appreciate it. Keisha Girl asking if anything's up in Musquasis. I don't think there's anything really up that way. It is just minor showers, nothing severe anyways. You're on the very edge of the precipitation up there, so definitely nothing concerning up that way. Everything is to the south, and that is not even severe warn to the south of there. This line that we're looking at here around Red Deer and eastward, that is just some non-severe thunderstorms. But when we do swing back down to the east of Strathmore and Calgary, this is our area that we have that is moving just to the south of Drumheller and is going to continue heading eastward out of there. So just getting a comment here. Whoops. Comment here from Dennis saying we are in Lacombe, rain, thunder, lightning happening right now. So thank you very much for that update. Here is our latest scan that just popped up. So let me delete my drawing out. Let me kill that off and get back to doing the analysis. And let's take a look at our winds. So there are still winds embedded in it, but I'm not seeing them intensify, which is a good sign. It is still very windy on the leading edge of this, but we are starting to see that a little bit of the precip is working its way out of it still. Again, that is going to be a slow process over the next hour or two. I'm hoping within probably half an hour that this does end up being non-severe. And at that point, things will definitely be a better outlook. But we did have some more of the southern end. I want to show you this, actually. So let me back it up here a couple of frames. So what you're going to notice in this area, storms are going to kind of join in on the line. So they're going to extend further south, which is one of the things I commented about, that sometimes these storm systems will expand southward. And that's exactly what you see happening here. It expanded southward. So it is heading down towards Milo area. Let me see what the winds are like in here. Not too terrible. These are moderate winds, but pockets of heavy precipitation. Just going to see if there's any real lightning, a little bit of lightning associated with it as well, but not too bad. Again, if we move more north, that is where we're having a little bit more of that intensity happening as this continues to move eastward at this point. So again, it's not intensifying, it is weakening slowly but surely. It is taking some time, obviously, but the winds are going down and the precipitation is going down. So that is all good news as far as heading eastward out of here. So let me jump back in here to some comments and questions. Raining in Hannah, but nothing major. That's from Melissa. Oh, wow, that's awesome. I love hearing this. You helped me with a tornado warning in Meadow a few weeks ago. Thank you. You're the best weather YouTuber. Thank you so much for that. There's some good people out there, but I'll take the compliment. And as long as I help people out, that's my whole purpose behind what I'm doing as far as things go. So we had an awesome light show in Cochrane outside of Calgary about an hour ago. That's from Sarah, and I know very well where Cochrane is. I've actually visited there quite a few times over the years. I actually really like the Cochrane area. It's a fun kind of place just near the city, but outside of the city at the same time. So How my 2-year-old is sleeping through this, I'll never know. It's funny. If I wasn't doing this, I would be sound asleep with storms like this. They don't bother me. I don't even basically notice them. So you can drive a dump truck through my bedroom, and I usually won't notice. It won't wake me up. I do like my sleep, and I'm good at it. Okay, what else have we got in the chat here? Yeah, okay, so we're caught up in terms of questions. I appreciate anybody that does send us information as to what they're experiencing with these storms when they're out in front of it, or anywhere around these storms. Also, if you do send us a photo or a video, that's fantastic for us, because it does let us know what's going on in front of the storm or what's underneath these radar scans. Generally, we are blind right below this radar scans. On average, the storms don't see the last kilometer from the surface to the kilometer up. The radar doesn't see it just because of the curvature of the earth and the distance from the radar. We don't get to see that, so it does help us a lot. So getting a question about whether it's going to rain in Calgary, guys, for the week. We don't do long-term forecasts on this channel during the live stream. If you want to know that kind of information out, we have a Facebook page. I can share it with you, where we do post outlooks. So this is where you can find us on the internet. Our email address, which I have to update, that has actually changed. So that's a good note for me. We just changed it today. But our Facebook is Canadian Weather Live, cwlstore.ca. Our Instagram, YouTube, and X were also on there. So I just need to make a note. We are a very small group running this channel. Like I said, I can't do it without my moderators and all our people that help us, all our storm chasers that help support the platform. But basically, any of the graphics, all that kind of stuff has to be done by one of us. And if we're on the live stream, it's a little hard to do it. But anyways, this is where you can find us as well. So that is, like I said, the email address has only changed from our Gmail. It is now... I'll bring it up. Our new email address is info@canadianweatherlive.ca. So, Tim, thank you very much for the donation. Really appreciate that as well. Thank you for the support. That goes a long way towards helping us. So, thank you for that. Scully saying it isn't easing up too quickly. What has happened is it's transitioned, actually. So it did lose a little bit of intensity. The southern portion of it definitely expanded further south, so that will maintain a little bit. But the northern portion is falling apart slowly but surely, and that will kind of trickle down as it continues on here. So let me just take a look at our winds. So the winds are starting to subside in this. That is definitely those bright pinks are going away. If we go back here, you can see how bright that pink coloration is as it went through the radar. And now as things are expanding out, those winds are dying down, and that precipitation will start dying down as well. So it is slowly dying. It's going to take a little bit of time. If it continues to expand southward, again, that just propagates it a little further south and makes it sustain a little bit longer as well. So question about Saskatchewan tomorrow. No, there's nothing. I don't believe there's anything slated for Saskatchewan tomorrow for any kind of really severe weather. So let me just take a look here. I don't know if they've updated. This is for Sunday. These are just minor storms, and this is non-severe. So this is sub-severe parameters. Basically, severe parameters in Canada is 90-kilometer-hour wind gusts or more, 3 centimeters of hail or larger, and then 50 millimeters of rain is the other portion. So these are just minor storms. This is the outlook from Environment Canada as of this morning. That will more than likely change by tomorrow morning just because of what's unfolding today. Models do update all the time, so that's for Saskatchewan. There's nothing bad for Saskatchewan tomorrow. You might have very minor thunderstorms, and that's basically it, but we're not expecting anything too severe for Saskatchewan area. So pouring buckets in Olds, Alberta, and the occasional bright lightning flash as well. So that's coming from Brenda. Thank you very much for that. Is any of this going to hit Edmonton? Absolutely not. Everything is south of Edmonton. You are in the clear up there. You might see an isolated raindrop or two up in the Edmonton area. This is all southeast, moving southeast from there. So you have nothing to worry about in the Edmonton area. And you guys have had enough storms this summer up that way. So definitely nothing to be concerned about up there. So yeah, definitely good news for the Edmonton folks. Like I said, I know there's a lot of gun shy or trigger or sensitive people in terms of the storms as of late, just because everything is going as far as the amount of storms that have come through Edmonton in the last 2 months. It's been crazy. We've been here live streaming for all of them essentially. So give me a sec here. Okay, just keeping up with some of my comments or from my moderators, just making sure we're keeping up with things. Guys, if you get in the chat, just don't spam the chat with repetitive questions. I try and get to them as much as I can, but I can't get to every single one. I do try my best, but it's definitely not always possible. So. That's pretty funny, Scully. In your merch store, you guys should have a missing poster with a trampoline on it. Last seen in our backyard. I am making note of that one. So I do have some shirt designs to work on once we actually get a little bit of time. So we'll definitely, that one I'm definitely adding in there. I definitely think we'll have some good shirt designs here coming up once things slow down as far as severe weather season kind of tapers off a little bit. But that's a great one. Thank you for that. Edmonton did not beat the July record for rainfall. It missed it by about 19 millimeters, which at that point you're splitting hairs because I think it was like 240 millimeters and it missed it by 19 millimeters, so not a lot of difference. So definitely still one of the wettest Julys on record in the Edmonton area as well. So you definitely beat June's. I do remember that. Show little kids standing where the trampoline was with sad faces. Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely going to put that one up. That is definitely going to get put in there. So once we release new merch, we'll throw it up on our Facebook page. We might even make a short little YouTube video, a YouTube short about it. But there's definitely going to be some new merch coming as the season slows down here. So. Well, I think in Oklahoma, it's either Oklahoma or Kansas. The official state bird is the trampoline. That's the ongoing joke down there because severe storms down there and tornadoes relocate trampolines on a regular basis. So, yes, it's a common theme or thread down there for sure. So 11:35, or yes, 11:35. and we're starting to see this storm. The northern end of it is breaking up. You can see a lot of yellow, a lot of orange in there, and our southern end of this line is basically all that's left as far as the severe component. The winds are going down, and we are seeing that this area in here is where our heavier precip is right now, and that is moving southeast at this point. So I say, yeah, definitely got very close in Edmonton for the record. Yeah, that definitely was. I thought you guys were actually going to break it, but it didn't end up being the case. Okay, so that's where we're at this point. We have definitely covered a lot of ground. We've been on here for only an hour and 40 minutes, and that storm has traveled all the way from Cochrane all the way to where it is now. So it has traveled quite a distance. Let me just measure that. I'm actually curious how far it has gone. So the leading edge of it, if I go all the way back to around Cochrane area, that's about 130 kilometers roughly that it has covered in an hour and a half. So that is moving fairly quick. It's probably doing 80 kilometers an hour, maybe somewhere in that neighborhood. So definitely moving fairly fast at this point in that hour and a half that it's traveled that distance. So yeah, anybody through Black Friday for sure. That you survived through that. That was definitely a serious event, and I don't blame anybody for having issue with severe weather with the Black Friday event. That definitely would leave an impact and an impression. The younger, especially the younger you were, definitely can understand that that would be something that would live with you for the lifetime, basically. So. I've rode through Oklahoma. The tree branches all face one way and lean like there is a tornado going through. So I'm always amazed that the car dealerships there can get insured, because the amount of hail sales that happen there are on another level. I can't remember a season that I haven't gone down there storm chasing and not seen a hailer go through parts of Oklahoma City where it has absolutely destroyed car dealerships or their inventory, not the dealership, but the inventory that's sitting out there. So it always blows my mind that they can still get insured for cars down in Oklahoma as a car dealer. So getting a question whether I think this will make it to the Alberta Saskatchewan border. I think it will get there. The question is how intense it's going to be. I think that it is going to slowly subside here. We are now almost midnight in Alberta. I'm going to see on the next few scans how the precipitation behaves within the next few scans, and to see whether that starts dying off. I don't think it'll be severe by the time it gets to the Alberta-Saskatchewan border. I can pull up actually a model. They've missed. The models were not really good today, so we'll see what. This is just a model, and I'm going to just see what it's thinking, and it's totally wrong already. So this is a model that ran, and you can see the storms are north, and they're not lined out like it is currently, so that model is way off already. Let me just double check here. That is the latest run, the 4Z. So when we look at models, and I talk about that on the live stream here a lot, these are all the models that we can look at, folks. On the left hand side, I'm just going to go full screen. Those are all the different models that you can look at for one thing or another. So when platforms put what they call a future cast radar or future radar, whatever they call it, that is one model's interpretation on what's going to happen. What are the odds that it's right? Slim to none. That's all I'm going to say about that. So we don't tend to refer to any kind of Futurecast or Future Radar, just because we look at 5 different ones when we're looking at things. I'm just going to see here whether this one's anywhere close. And these are models. That's all I'm looking at. Reflectivity, I'm not diving into any data. And both of them are so far off, it's not even funny. So I'm not even going to guess as to what's going to happen here. But based on what I'm seeing here, this is our latest scan. So let me bring this back up. Let's look over at velocity. So winds have mostly made their way out of this. There is definitely moderate winds in here, but the heaviest of winds or strongest winds here by 56. That is where we've got these brighter pink areas. And then our precipitation is stretching back to the southeast. Our one area of very heavy precip located right here, right along 56. That is where our heaviest of precipitation is right now. The rest of it has a lot of orange, very little red in it. So that is again indicative of it coming apart a little bit. Slowly but surely, that is what's happening here. And our last pocket of heavy precipitation is highlighted here in orange. So I'm starting to feel good about it. It's dying out. Definitely by the time, unless something happens that's kind of out of the norm, as this moves eastward, by the time it gets to the Alberta-Saskatchewan border, it's just going to be regular rain showers, maybe with a little, but it'll be non-severe is what I'm trying to say at that point. So Tim saying, yeah, I just say that we in Edmonton watch the skies a lot more closely now, understandably so. I do not understand how people in Oklahoma aren't, as the amount of people that are not weather aware down in the States in a tornado alley blows my mind, because if I was living there, I would definitely know how to know when there's going to be problems, because it's a regular occurrence. Every spring you've got this crazy weather. You need to understand what's going on. That's just me, but anyways. Wow, July 18th in Canoe Lake, there were winds of almost 100 miles an hour, 160 kilometers an hour in a storm. And July 29th or 25th, there were ping pongs ball-sized hail on the ground. So that doesn't sound like a fun place to be this summer. Definitely some serious storms have moved their way through the area for sure. So oh, that's pretty funny. Some funny stories coming out here. Scully saying a company I used to work for had a bunker for our employees. Second in Oklahoma, nobody would use it because it was hardly used and the snake had moved in. I'll take my chances with the tornado. Oh man, you're dodging one thing or another by the sounds of it. So anyways, yeah, that's definitely crazy. And yeah, I can imagine the other thing I've heard with some of the bunkers not being built properly. We saw a tornado shelter that was installed. They didn't do it properly, didn't check the water table, and they installed this concrete bunker, and then the water table rose and the whole bunker just kind of came out of the ground. So it turned into a boat essentially. So that's definitely not handy for your tornado shelter as well. So anywho, definitely some funny stories down there. So oh, Janet saying I was about 5 kilometers away from the Black Friday twister and live in its path. The daytime storm a couple Mondays ago had me pretty freaked out. The lightning was so close, and there definitely been some strong storms that have come through Edmonton over the last 2 months. There's probably 5 events that have happened in Edmonton, and yeah, I definitely, like I said, I don't blame anybody for that. That was a bad event. This has been a bad summer for severe weather in Edmonton area. So oh, cool, Tim. Yeah, I definitely would love to see the photos from the tornado in Edmonton. That definitely would be awesome. Either send it to, again, you can send it to our new email address, info@canadianweatherlive.ca, or you can even upload it to our media tool. The link is just above on the chat actually going through, or you can scan the QR code at the top. That's the other thing. So yeah, definitely would love to see that. I'm fascinated by weather, so historical events, I definitely love seeing photos and videos of that. Obviously less videos in 87. Everybody today has a cell phone. 87, not so much. They don't have a camera, let's put it that way. Good question here. Do the fires in BC affect weather patterns, and do they show up on the radar? So yes, you can see the other night I was watching a fire that had happened south of Kelowna. Let me just see here. Where was it? Summerland. It was to the northwest of Summerland. I don't think there's anything on the radar. I'm just going to take a look. But yesterday, I think it was yesterday evening, we were looking at that. Definitely, you can see some big fires on radar for sure. The other thing that that happens is when you get smoke, when smoke is throughout an area, it acts like a blanket, and what it does is it doesn't allow the sun to heat up or destabilize the environment as much, so it's kind of like a wet blanket over severe weather. So smoke is good for keeping severe weather lower, but the problem is that it is from wildfires. So you've got two necessary evils. I don't know how you want to say it, but obviously smoke can affect weather patterns for sure. It affects every single time I have ever seen anybody chase severe storms with smoke. They have underperformed every single time. So your models, your parameters are telling you this is the high potential of, you know, storms. Smoke gets in there and it's cut in half. I mean, I'm just kind of not exaggerating, but you know, it does significantly impact the ability for severe weather. So great question there. You definitely want to be careful, with lightning. Loretta saying, I almost got hit while ago today by lightning. It is the one thing with storm chasing that freaks me out, or I'm most concerned about, because it is so unpredictable. You cannot ever tell where it's going to hit, and it can be very, very unpredictable. When you get into some very strong thunderstorms, they can shoot, that lightning can fire 15, 20 kilometers out ahead of the storm. You don't even have a storm above you, but you get a lightning bolt out there. So you definitely have to be careful with lightning. And I've had probably 5 situations when I've been storm chasing that I've nearly got hit by lightning. When you can hear the tracer, which is the bottom part that reaches out up to the lightning bolt. If you look at lightning in slow motion, always that last little portion is reaching up. When you can hear that, and it's got a very specific sound, you just know what just happened. That's, you know, you're way too close at that point. So anyways, yeah, definitely not something I enjoy is the lightning. So Mike saying way south in Calgary wasn't bad. A couple thunders shook the place pretty good. So that's on our storms. Just, you know, this little kind of noodle back here by Carsland back to the west. Definitely a little bit of heavy precipitation on that. Not a ton of lightning, but obviously enough that it's shaking the house if it's hitting close by. So no, the fires definitely are not controlling the tornadoes. I mean, it's just a side effect of having all that smoke. But nobody is burning down half a province or half a state just to keep tornadoes. I mean, what's the difference? A tornado definitely does less damage than a big fire will do, burning down thousands of homes, tens of thousands of acres. I'd rather see a tornado, to be totally honest with you, because most tornadoes are on the ground for 2 minutes minutes or less. 90% are down 2 minutes or less. So it's definitely not to do that. I will assure you of that. So. Okay, let's see when our next scan is going to come up here. 11:47. We're about 5 minutes into our 8-minute scan, so we should start seeing here very shortly, within about 2 to 3 minutes, our latest scan. Precipitation is breaking up in front of the line as well, so that's also a good indicator. I suspect the severe aspect of this is slowly going to unfold. We are now almost midnight out in Alberta. 2 a.m. Eastern, we are seeing, for the most part, you can see where it's very obvious where this, the heaviest of precipitation is. We do have some east, kind of around the Stettler area and east, but that is moderate to light rain at the most, and definitely some light rain tucked in here where we're seeing all this yellow, green, and blue. And then we just have basically south of Drumheller, we have this pocket of intense precipitation, and the rest of it is moderate to light. Right around Milo, definitely a little bit of more red involved in there, but it's very narrow and not very long lasting at this point. So. Okay, let me just take a look at something here. And we should have our new scan here in about 1 minute or less. Okay, let's see what comes up here. So 11:53 p.m. was our scan, so this just came in right now. We're at 11:54. Wind field is breaking down. There's a very small pocket of still straight line winds that are in here, but definitely things are improving. I'll be shocked if they move that severe warning further east when this continues. It is propagating a little further south, so that southern end is reaching out. You can see that on the last few scans as it's expanding out. So there are storms continuing to fire, but the southern end does not have any strong straight line winds. It just has that very thin area of heavier precipitation. So far, that is the good sign on the southern end. It's definitely a thunderstorm. I think it's non-severe. The only area that's left here is basically right north of 561 and 56 area. There is these dark reds. That is that very heavy precip that is ongoing. So okay, interesting. The crazy part, the tornado made a path through Millwoods and then traveled right along Edmonton's Refinery Row for several miles, touched nothing, only 2 empty oil tanks were crushed like tin cans. And it's amazing what tornadoes, how drastic the difference can be from, 50 feet away. In either direction, one house gets completely obliterated and the other one, nothing happens to it. So yes, definitely crazy how different a tornado can impact the same area. Yeah, a little bit of hail down here. Just Melody sending me some information on this. Just southwest of Carsland. I'm just trying to see over 552. There is a little bit of hail in this. Not a lot of wind, but there definitely is a little bit of hail in that. So just something to keep in mind. That would be probably grapes or smaller as far as hail is concerned. and you can see it's moving just kind of southeast as well with the rest of the line. Definitely starting to bow out, and what I mean by bow out is you get that shape of like a bow and arrow, and you just basically see it curving back like that. So again, that is indicative of outflow storm, meaning the storm is pushing, not ingesting, which again, rotating winds, you're going to have the air ingested into the storm with a very strong updraft. This is an outflow dominant type storm or line of storms. So that is the good news there. So I'm going to watch this for a couple more scans. It is 2 a.m. here, so I'm starting to be a little bit lethargic. Brain isn't working as good as it should. I'll stick with it probably till quarter after 12 your time in Alberta, 2:15 a.m. Eastern, and then everything else in between from there. But we'll definitely stick with it. And if it does continue to kind of slowly weaken, I'll probably call the stream at that point. For the most part, this is at this time just borderline severe. We do obviously have heavy precipitation into it, but we don't have any hail, and we haven't had hail for quite some time. The only part that would have been severe would be these stronger winds, but that wind field has subsided and is breaking down as well. So again, I'll stick with it here for another couple scans, probably till quarter after, and we'll just see how it progresses, and I'll update you guys from there. Take a look around Edmonton area. There's a few minor showers kind of to the northwest. I'm just looking to see what they're doing. They're breaking apart as they come southeast. So again, Edmonton might see a little bit of rain overnight, but I'm going to say isolated raindrop or two, meaning very, very light precipitation on tap, possibly overnight, but nothing of any concern that I can see out of this at this point. And so we're just looking at this. It's getting, I'll show you guys how close it is to Brooks at this point. Just I know that that's one of the areas that we do talk about. So it's around 50 kilometers away from Brooks at this time. So that would mean it's there in less than an hour, just because this is probably doing 70 kilometers an hour, maybe a little bit more than that. So we'll see what happens. Rick is still here. Holy cow, Rick, I'm impressed. And I know V-Baller Lefty has got to be here as well. So V-Baller Lefty saying, oh, sure, Tom, beat your record by a few minutes. You know, I'm actually doing pretty well, but it is 2:15 and I do have to live stream tomorrow as well. So I do have a, you know, kind of a balancing act that I have to do with when I come off the live stream. I still need to get some decent sleep. So anyways, I enjoy it. I have fun with you guys, so that's the good part about it. So, just getting a not looking good for Edmonton getting a storm. No, there, like I said, nothing looks to be coming into Edmonton tonight. That's for sure. If there was anything, it would be extremely mild based on what I'm seeing on things here. So. Oh, God. Rick was out chasing today. He stopped for some pizza with Connor in Brockville, and now he's having post-chase pizza indigestion regrets. Sounds like a bottle of Tums needs to be ingested, Rick. That'll help you out and maybe get you to go to sleep. So 3 Orion 33, you're welcome. Happy you're here as well. I recognize the username. Tim saying hopefully no rain. The lawn finally dried out that I can finally mow it in the morning. Like I said, if there was anything, it would be an isolated raindrop or two. I don't expect much happening in there, so I don't think anything that would basically give you an issue with mowing the lawn tomorrow. And there is some severe storms for while we're on the subject, folks. I've got your attention. Tomorrow, Environment Canada did have an outlook for severe storms. That's today. This is tomorrow. Possibly around the Edmonton area. Whitecourt. Now, they put it as moderate. And here's the kind of the caveat. They're saying only wind gusts of 70 kilometers an hour. For it to be severe, it's got to be 90 kilometers an hour. The hail, only 1 to 2 centimeters. And for severe, that's 3 centimeters of hail. And then rain would be 50 millimeters. So this is definitely up for debate tomorrow. We'll see what they put out. Again, it is based on today's information, but there could be storms in that area. That's why I'm highlighting it here, because I have your attention at this point. So if I'm going to live stream, it'll be probably for this tomorrow. And then there's even something southwest Ontario, very edge of southwest Ontario has some potential as well. But those are the outlooks. We will definitely be updating those in the morning when we look at what Environment Canada puts out and when we look at our own models and stuff like that. So Countess coming in saying, "Hey everybody, hope all are well. I'm in southern Alberta and we had a risk of thunderstorms, but thus far nothing has developed." And you're definitely you're lucky in that regards. Right now the storms are just moving through southeast from Calgary, going to come basically down the Trans-Canada. Essentially is what's going to happen. It will come through Brooks, but it is weakening as it is doing that. So that is the good news about it. And you may have some storms, but for the most part, these should be non-severe. Again, we're starting to see this kind of die off or taper off and go from there. Oh, yeah, I can definitely share this. Just got a picture from Melody from one of her friends, Alexei. So let me just take a look at this. We are 11:59, so we're about 2-3 minutes out from our next scan here. Definitely things are breaking up along the Trans-Canada, where we're seeing a lot more yellow and orange. So we only have 2 areas of the heavier precip at this point. Again, just kind of north of 561, east of 56. There's heavy rain with that dark red pixelation, and then a little bit of it here east of Milo. There's a little bit on the leading edge of that. But again, that looks very minor, and our winds are definitely subsiding in this. There's still a small pocket, but for the most part is looking a lot better. So stay well, Tom and crew. See you on the next one. And I'm just going to see, oh, that was from Carmen. I just couldn't read the name in the chat because it had shrunk it down. So thank you, Carmen. Appreciate you being here, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one. So AC/DC playing in Edmonton tomorrow. Did not know that. That's cool. 20 to 24 degrees is my perfect temperature. Anything over that, I definitely start to melt. This is from earlier tonight. I'm just going to share this cool little photo. This is a photo from Alexei, and this it's Water Valley, Alberta. So let me bring this up. Just a cool lightning bolt for that. So again, this is from Melody. Her friend sent this in. And love that shot, love the blue color of the storm, and then that awesome lightning bolt on the right hand side. So I always like sharing those kinds of things in the chat or in the live stream. Just love photos. So still got a bunch of hail down here by Carsland. Little pockets of it, but that storm definitely has a lot more precipitation on it in regards to hail. So this will probably have pockets of mostly pea-sized hail, but you could have grapes to maybe a little bit larger here just north of 552. This would be east of Albertina. And that would be the only area with any kind of hail indicated within it. So we'll stick around here. We're 12:06. We're about 1 minute or less out from our next scan. Let's keep all our fingers crossed that this continues to kind of weaken, and it definitely has for the most part. That southern end definitely showing the signs of weakening, and the only area where we have any kind of heavy rain is starting to shrink down as well. Let's take a look at our winds, and that pocket of winds is definitely shrinking as well. So on the next scan, I think it's going to be even weaker, and you can just see how this is all starting to break up at this point. So most of the severe aspect is over with, and everything is coming down in regards to that severe component of things. So you can see as that was coming through Calgary, all that red, all that orange, and we're now very broken up on this line as far as that's concerned. Oh, they're updating air quality warnings in BC, obviously to do with those wildfires. And while we're talking about it, we'll see what the wildfires do overnight. That wildfire smoke can affect what happens with weather tomorrow as far as the severe component of it. So if you don't want to see severe, you want to see wildfire smoke. If you want to chase storms and you're an enthusiast, you don't want to see wildfire smoke. That's the trade-off there, folks. So yeah, Countess. Yeah, definitely. If you were seeing the sun looking orange or pink or even kind of red when it gets down to the sunset, that is indicative of a ton of smoke in the environment, and it does again impede storms from happening. So it definitely will affect what you kind of get for severe weather that day for sure. So. Carmen talking about our favorite Maple Leafs fan. Uh, yeah, we definitely are Ottawa Senator fans, Connor and I. But again, when it comes to weather, we don't discriminate. But if it was a hockey channel, I think the discussion would be a little bit different. Anyways, let's take a look here. So we are 12:05. 4 minutes in. I'm hoping this next scan looks better, and so far everything is. And like I said, I'll be surprised if they continue to move that severe warning eastward with this, because this is starting to weaken off at this point. So the wildfires, how do they affect storms? It's actually the smoke that blankets in the atmosphere. And when you have that haze, it acts like shade in a certain extent. So the rays from the sun cannot penetrate through that smoke as easily, which means it can't heat the surface. When you can't heat the surface, you don't destabilize the environment, which then reduces the ability or the potential for severe weather. So normally you'll talk to people who've been hit by big tornadoes or big storms. Hey, it was sunny all day. It was a super nice day. And then all of a sudden at 5 or 6 p.m., it turned crazy and we got a storm or we got a tornado. That's always what happens. You've got to have that nice sunny weather, heating the environment, destabilizing it, and having that potential. And then that's what allows severe weather to happen. But when you get that smoke from the wildfires aloft, it acts like a blanket. And it doesn't allow the sun to get in there. That's basically, in a nutshell, how it can affect severe weather. Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm starting to really yawn here, so definitely going to be jumping off the stream here at quarter after. I'm starting to fall asleep, so not good. Leafs suck, just saying, coming from Chris Morris. That's a good way to establish yourself on the channel. It's amazing the rivalry in Ontario with Ottawa and Toronto. It's just funny sometimes. So yes, exactly. That's actually a great way of looking at it. Just seeing seeing this comment. Okay, that makes sense. It's like when the meteor hit the Earth and blocked out the sun, causing a winter. Exactly. It just when you have particles in the air, the sun cannot get through it 100%. It reduces how much makes it to the surface, and then that changes your environment. That changes what happens with storms. So 100%. That's a great way of looking at it. So. Carmen, we love you too, and appreciate you being on the channel as well. So, Okay, 12:05. We are about 2 minutes from our next scan. That will be our last scan, more than likely, because this does look like it is dying off at this point pretty consistently. It is a little bit slow, but it is dying off, and we only have a very small pocket of winds and heavy rain. The rest of it is on the lighter end of the scale, so we are looking pretty good. Anybody who is east, southeast of this, you are looking good tonight. You will get a storm, some rain going through, but it's going to be on the low end of the scale. Should be non-severe is the way I would look at it at this point. So yeah, have a drink and go to bed. Yes, I'm definitely going to bed here shortly. So, anyways, we'll see what our next scan shows, and then I'll do the analysis, and then I'll call it a night. Like I said, we are definitely in a much better situation than when we were back here to the west, even towards Calgary. Let me just see here. While I'm waiting for that next scan, I'll go back 30. I'll close that off. So this is where it started. I started to get concerned here. By the time I got the stream up and going, we were about here when it was going through Calgary. So that is a lot more menacing and more intense with heavy precipitation and hail. And now we've made it all the way over here, and you can see that most of the red is gone. We do still have a pocket of heavier precipitation with a little bit of hail by Carseland or south of Carseland. That is the brightest or darkest area of red that we see on the map. The rest of it is dying off, and this just came in. Here's our scan. Let's take a look at our winds. So winds are dying off, and this is going to continue moving southeast from here, but you can see that the rain has basically made its way out of this for the most part. I don't think the severe warning will get pushed further east at this point. They're Environment Canada is seeing the same thing. I doubt that they're going to advance the severe warning. So you will still see a storm with some lightning, with some rain, but it is going to be non-severe, and it is going to slowly die out to look like what you're seeing up here by Three Hills, Drumheller area. It is raining, but we're not talking a lot of wind, and we're not talking a lot of precipitation. It's not going to be torrential rain or anything like that. So, awesome, everybody that joined. I still can't believe there's a whole bunch of people from Ontario and Quebec in here. That blows my mind, but I appreciate you guys being on here. And awesome, Countess. I also love hearing that. Glad you found us tonight. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. Anybody who donated tonight, anybody who became a member of the Sunshine Club, thank you so much. We really appreciate the support, and we want to grow this channel. So again, thanks to everybody. Thanks to my moderators. Really appreciate you guys helping out on the channel. We will probably be live streaming tomorrow, possibly Southwest Ontario, and then also out back in Alberta again, depending on what models show and what it looks like. If it's bad, we will be here to walk you guys through it. So I hope everybody can sleep. And they just dropped the severe warning. So just as I'm cutting off the stream, severe warning has been dropped on this storm. So again, this will continue marching southeast, but will be a non-severe thunderstorm at this point. And hopefully everybody can sleep well tonight or better. And we will catch you guys on the next live stream. So again, appreciate everybody. And more than likely, you'll see me again tomorrow if you're tuning into the live stream. So good night. I'm going to crash at this point and go to bed.